Hello everyone, Assistant Narrator Richardson signing in. And I really like corn. I'm not too much of a fan of corn on the cob, but corn in a tin? You have tuna and some mayonnaise with that, put that in a sandwich. Oh, it's really nice. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Item number SCP-3837. Restriction level, Level 2 Restricted. Containment class, Euclid. Disruption class, Dark. Risk class, Notice. Special containment procedures. SCP-3837 is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment chamber at Site-322. No food containing corn is to be brought within SCP-3837's view. All inquiries from SCP-3837 regarding whether one has consumed corn are to be either denied or ignored. SCP-3837's file is currently under jurisdiction of Site-322's integration program. See Addenda for details. Description: SCP-3837 is an ear of corn, Maize, partially covered with husk. It has thin makeshift arms and legs composed of 0.6mm thick stalks, and it stands 0.2 meters tall. Its arms terminate in 4 digits, one of which is an opposable thumb. It has a tuft of corn silk, stigma Maize, coming from its top and covering the top left section of its front. SCP-3837 is sapient, sentient, and capable of sensory perception and vocalizations, despite lacking the necessary organs to do so. SCP-3837 self-identifies as Cornelius, the Great Slayer of Goats. Along with this, SCP-3837 incorporates a medieval and Shakespearean speaking pattern into its diction. Whether this is a conscious choice is unknown. The last statement has been stricken from the record. SCP-3837 is incredibly hostile towards goats, Capra aggregus hircus, and will become irate at any and all mentions of the animal. This attitude will deteriorate when SCP-3837 is presented with any materials depicting or resembling goats. When this occurs, SCP-3837 will instead display symptoms similar to those with post-traumatic stress disorder, including panic attacks, anxiety, and emotional stress. SCP-3837 was discovered on May 12, 2020 at a farm in Danville, Kentucky. Lurking around the perimeter of a fence wielding a spoon, the owner of the property contacted authorities, and MTF Iota-10, damn feds, was able to apprehend SCP-3837 with no incident. Standard veil retention protocol was performed following the recovery. Addendum 3837.1 Intake Interview Log. Date of interview 13th of the 5th, 2020. Interviewed SCP-3837. Interviewer Dr. Pattinson. Begin log. Good evening, my name is Dr. Pattinson. You're currently in a secure facility for your safe.
Have you consumed my brethren?
What, like other ears of corn? Do you mean others like you, or just corn in general?
That was not a no.
SCP-3837 proceeds to hop off its chair and run to Dr. Pattinson's leg. SCP-3837 then begins to pound Dr. Pattinson's foot. Dr. Pattinson was unharmed. Alright, calm down. I don't eat corn.
You're a man of honor and reverence.
SCP-3837 kneels, then stands and returns to its seat.
You may call me Cornelius. How may I serve you?
Well then, Cornelius, during a search of the farm we found you at, we found several scrolls detailing attack plans on a group known as those that don't deserve name. Is this another cornfield on a different farm? Or something else?
Goats. My mortal enemies, what lonesome creatures they are. Such demons. They impart on your land, pillaging and destroying as they see fit. I hate them.
Hate is a strong word. I've tried getting it out of my vocabulary.
I do hate them. My community, my family was ravaged by them. From kernel to ear, we were utterly devastated. It was a sneak attack. Father Elliot was dealing with those brutes for years at that point. They would come into his land with their many teeth and devour the grass and my ancestors.
SCP-3837 pauses.
There were too many of them that night. Father couldn't scare them off, and even I, the great Cornelius, was no use. It was an ambush. There were thousands of them, chomping and chewing with their cold yellow eyes. In the end, I was the only survivor.
Now that makes sense. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I don't need your pity. The only creatures I will be sorry for are the beasts that face my wrath. I took a pledge to destroy every goat I come into contact with from that day forward. My wrath will be unchallenged. My power, more powerful than any power ever seen before.
SCP-3837 starts to scream as the kernels on its top start to pop and replenish almost instantaneously, causing popcorn to fly from SCP-3837, covering the interrogation room. I think that's a good place to stop for today. End log. Following the interview, an investigation of the area near the farm SCP-3837 was recovered from led to the identification of person of interest 7383, Elliot Pines, who was then brought in for questioning. See Addendum 3837-4. Addendum 3837.2 Test Log. The following was conducted to observe SCP-3837's reaction to a goat. While there was worry among site staff that SCP-3837 would harm the goat, Dr. Pattinson's experience with SCP-3837 determined that it was virtually harmless. Date of experiment: 10th of the 12th, 2020. Begin log. Pre-briefing. We're going to give you access to a goat. It will be controlled in case anything goes wrong. Does that sound alright?
Your worry should not be with me, but with the beast you allow me to unleash my vengeance upon. It will be slaughtered like my family was slaughtered. It will be butchered like my family was butchered. It will be flayed.
Okay, there are a few hundred other synonyms. I get the point.
Your honour and reverence is unmatched. No other man has allowed me this opportunity. I do this in your name, son of Patton.
Testing.
Where are you hiding? Come out here and face the wrath of I, the great Cornelius.
A goat fitted with a muzzle is released into SCP-3837's chamber.
Oh, great lord!
SCP-3837 begins slowly backing away from the goat. The goat sniffs the concrete floor.
It's calling for its brethren! Save me! I've been clearly outmatched!
SCP-3837 backs itself into a corner and attempts to climb up the testing chamber walls.
Get out of my head!
Dr. Pattinson retrieves the goat. Test terminated. Debriefing. What happened out there?
I will consider that battle a draw. For this time and this time only. I did not expect the creature to use its magic to invoke frighten me. It shan't happen again.
End log. Following the experiment, SCP-3837 was seen sulking in its chamber. This behaviour continued for approximately 7 days. Addendum 3837-3 Integration Program Directive. Case File SCP-3837. Under the directive of the Integration Program, work with SCP-3837 will be pursued in an attempt to remedy its PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from it and its species' experience with livestock, specifically goats. Since SCP-3837 has already been exposed to a goat, there may be complications. That being said, site staff are hopeful that this will achieve its goal. The timetable will be as follows. Exposure item, photograph of a goat. Date, 20th of the 10th, 2020. Goat fur, 20th of the 11th, 2020. Goat animatronic, 20th of the 12th, 2020. Live goat, 20th of the 1st, 2021. Test, photograph of a goat. On the first day of exposure, SCP-3837 immediately recoiled from the photograph and refused to look at it. SCP-3837 claimed it had shut its eyes despite lacking the features. Over the course of the next month, SCP-3837 was able to look at the photograph for extended periods of time, describe it, and eventually allowed it to remain in its containment chamber. Excerpts.
I shall keep this at my side, as a reminder of the beasts I will destroy.
Test. Goat fur. Researchers noted an immediate change in behaviour from the last test. As mentioned, SCP-3837 refused to look at the picture. In this case, it was curious about the item and only showed mild discomfort when handling it. At the end of the tests, SCP-3837 commented on the fur's texture, finding it comfortable. Excerpts.
It seems that the creature's malice does not seep into its fur. A pure diversion.
Test. Goat animatronic. A mild change in behaviour occurred on the first day of testing. SCP-3837 was initially frightened by the animatronic, a miniature robot replica of an adult goat. It immediately, upon sight of the robot, ran to the corner of its chamber. It remained there for the entirety of the first day, resulting in no substantial advancement. At the end of the testing cycle, SCP-3837 became somewhat accustomed to the animatronic's presence, attempting to pet the robot multiple times per day, and sleeping with the animatronic in its chamber. Excerpts.
Proper training for my second battle. I am thankful for this opportunity.
While the excerpts displayed here do not show the improvement described, it is known that SCP-3837's warrior facade is artificial. These tests show a remarkable change in behaviour. The final test will take place on the allotted date. Addendum 3837.4. Person of Interest 7383. Interview log. When nearing the end of the goat animatronic testing period, Person of Interest 7383 was brought in and questioned in order to learn how best to go about live goat exposure testing. Date of interview, 18th of the 1st, 2021. Interviewed, Person of Interest 7383. Interviewer, Dr. Pattinson. Begin log. Hi, Mr. Pines. My name is Dr. Pattinson. Thanks for joining us. It's not like I had a choice in the matter, huh? You can call me Elliot, by the way. Well then, Elliot, I have a few questions surrounding the corn grown on your farm. You're gonna ask why they were alive and roaming. Been there and done that, my friend. Used to get hundreds of questions about it. Never got tired of answering it, though. I miss him a bit. It was good to have someone to talk to when you're out pulling weeds or shucking corn. My wife was never into the whole farm life thing. Stuck to teaching. Are all the years gone? The living ones, that is? Yeah, 3 or 4 of my goats got loose and managed to eat the bunch. It was a real fox in a hen house deal. They meant no harm, but I do feel bad about it. Weighs heavy on my conscience. How did they animate? Did you have a hand in that? Nope. Couldn't really help you there, I'm afraid. I like to tell people I wished upon a star, like the Pinocchio movie. It was really that I just woke up one day, saw 'em. It scared the absolute soul out of me, and eventually they grew on me. I actually might have some good news. We're in possession of one of your ears. Does the great Cornelius ring any bells? Wait, really? That's so good to hear. But I didn't have any cobs by that name. Person of interest 7383 pauses. You know what? There must be little Tom. He always was quite exaggerative. I'm sure with a whole new group to impress, he told a few tall tales to you. That definitely sounds like our SCP-3837. It's recently sworn total vengeance on all goats over the incident. It's all my fault. I really should have kept a better eye on those goats. My lord, he's better than that. I made him this way. He's no killer. That's not who he is in his heart. To be fair, he definitely isn't a killer. We've shown him a goat, and he was terrified. That being said, he's shown great development in our program. That's even worse. He's always loved animals, the cows especially. Something about their size in comparison really wowed him. He used to ride them around sometimes. Like I said, we're working on helping him, and he's doing really well. Right now we're trying out this robot our cybernetics department developed. Now that I mention it, you still have those goats, right? Yep. One of them, Barfany, gave birth 2 days ago. Even better. End log. Addendum 3837.5 Final Exposure Test. Person of interest 7383 was brought into SCP-3837's chamber, along with the aforementioned baby goat. Date of experiment 13th of the 11th, 2020. Good evening, Tom.
Hark! You dare call me by that name? If you were not a man of great wisdom and pride, I'd cut you in twain. Only one man knows me by that name, my father.
Funny you should mention, because person of interest 7383 then enters the room. Hi, Tom.
Father, I thought I'd never see you again.
What was with that accent earlier? What are you, Shakespeare?
It's for a bit of flair, you know.
No, I don't know. I've heard of your quest, and your hatred of goats. Did I ever teach violence?
No. This was an extenuating circumstance.
Well, I also heard you're working for it. You know, that hate is a strong word, right?
Yes, he's told me enough times.
It was once. Also, you said you respected me.
I do. You're just a bit pushy is all.
Can I say how proud I am of your progress, Mr. Pattinson? Dr. Pattinson pulls person of interest 7383 aside to the other side of the containment chamber. It's not a big deal, but I've actually got a doctorate. Okay? Just earlier you said Mr. Pattinson, but I've got a doctorate in agriculture, so it's doctor, not Mr. Well, okay, sorry. Dr. Pattinson and person of interest 7383 return to SCP-3837. Dr. Pattinson showed me the reports here, and it's amazing how fast you're improving.
My so-called hatred has turned into only a minor disliking of goats.
Well, I guess that's an improvement. I hope my friend could be of help too. I'm going to step out and we'll send her in.
Alright, I hope I can see you again.
I hope so too. The kid is released into the testing chamber. SCP-3837 does not move.
Hello, creature.
The goat bites at the peeling paint of the containment chamber's walls.
Oh, there's teeth. The robot didn't have teeth.
The goat makes its way over to SCP-3837's bed. It lies down and shuts its eyes.
What? Is this a trap?
I believe it's sleeping, Tom.
It doesn't want to eat me?
Nope, I think it trusts you. It fell asleep right next to you. SCP-3837 approaches the sleeping kid. It hovers its hand above it.
Warm.
SCP-3837 begins to slowly and shakily pet the baby goat.
That's not so bad.
The goat snorts. SCP-3837 continued to caress and inspect the sleeping animal for approximately 7 minutes.
Maybe you're not all bad.
End log. Following the test, weekly visits between SCP-3837, Person of Interest 7383, who has been designated an E-Class member of the Foundation, with his only exposure to the anomalous being SCP-3837, and Dr. Pattinson, and the GOAT, now designated GOI 3837, Goat of Interest, have been scheduled. As part of this procedure, Goat of Interest 3837 is to be kept well fed and supervised during all interactions with SCP-3837. And that's the end of the document. I would be worried, leaving a goat, even if, there's someone in the room. Because I feel like goats don't have, a sense of, being full from food. So I'm a bit worried for that little corn friend. Anyway, goodbye. Hello everyone, Creepy Otter here. I just want to say a few things. Firstly, I want to say a huge thank you to PlaguePJP, Tstaffor and Baronjoe for this article. Really, really funny and almost cute in a way, with the little corn friend being scared of the goats and then in the end liking the goat. It's really nice. Really enjoyed the article. Check their stuff in the description below. Also, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to support me more, my Ko-fi is in the description below. And talking about my Ko-fi, we have the following people to thank: Toad King, Agent Maxwell, Dr. Ferron Sherman, /Site42, Ico, Grave Creations, Pro Renatura, Dilligath, Redacted, and Sub 9-3. I can't even put into words how thankful I am for all your support. Recently, as I said, we had the monitor problem, and you all supported me so much that I could get a new monitor and carry on recording videos, so thank you. It means a lot. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one as always. Goodbye.